to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. While everyone starts hopping on and to look at this beautiful planner stack, and so that we can go through it and figure out what I have semi-committed to for the 2024 season, while everybody starts to get settled and hop on, I am going to go over a couple quick things. Number one, I live right off of a highway, so sometimes it can get a little loud and I cannot control traffic. I can't control sirens or anything like that, so I'm super sorry about that. And then I do have a adorable black cat, and adorable. There we go. Let's use our grammar. An adorable black cat. She is currently hiding underneath the bed, having some me time, but that's not to say that she won't come out or try to walk all over everything. That's just her nature. And then I also want to quick chat about what I'm drinking. So this is Wine Wednesday. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I've done even like witchy Wine Wednesdays. I hope to see more Wine Wednesdays in 2024. But it really is schedule permitting, because I do have to, at least I prefer to make sure that there are uploads, and the witchy or the Wine Wednesday is really just kind of cherry on top. It's extra content and it's really fun for me to do and I quite enjoy it, but I can't always do it because, like I said, it is schedule permitting, and it's also super important to me that you guys get your content. So it means a lot of pre-planning on my part, but I hope to see more of them in 2024 as well. But part of that is that I am usually drinking wine or a cocktail or something. So what I am drinking today is a little odd, and it's a new thing for me, and it's going to look really weird in this cup. I am drinking a red wine hot chocolate out of a super cute little gingerbread man's head. So I'm going to set this off to the side after a sip. This I made based off of this little wine cocktail recipe. So this is all from my In Good Taste catalog from last year. I've been hanging on to it. So apparently you can make a red wine hot cocoa, and I made it. It's okay. I think the problem was that I've really been jonesing for some cocoa, guys. Like, it's the season, and I'm being quite persnickety about my cocoa consumption for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I am. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do Wine Wednesday with this hot cocoa recipe. And it's okay. But like I said, in my brain, I thought it was going to taste like cocoa. But then also I thought it was going to taste like wine. And it literally tastes like red wine and hot cocoa mixed together. So to some people that may sound really exciting. To others, it may sound really gross. The jury's out with me. I'm really not sure. I'm kind of sad that some chocolate and milk and wine is going to probably have to go to waste. But I mean, it's not inedible. It's just not, yeah, it's just not hitting the spot, guys. Oh, it's something. It's something. But just to go ahead and last minute chat on this, this is the catalog from last year's advent calendar with In Good Taste. I did decide to get another one this year. I can honestly tell you I am not repped in any way, shape, or form by them or sponsored. I wish I was. But this year it looks like it's a little bit different. It's like a scratch and reveal situation. I'm a little bummed that there's no catalog, because I really quite enjoyed that. And I was hoping to share the catalog with a friend of mine so that they could look at it and see if it was something that they were interested in doing in the future or what have you. So that's where we're at. So I'm drinking red wine hot cocoa. If you guys are drinking anything, please let me know. I'm rambling about wine and cocoa only because I'm trying to wait until 6 o'clock when I said the live stream was going to start. So that's that. If you guys are watching this in the future, welcome and hi. Feel free to leave comments and questions that you may have. Since you're not in the live and you can't ask them in real time, I'm happy to answer them retroactively. So we're almost at 6 o'clock. Like I said, if you guys are joining, welcome. And also let me know what you're drinking or what you're working on. but it looks like I'm just gonna go ahead and get started just to get the ball rolling. So this big old hot mess doesn't even have everything. There is one thing that is not in this stack, and I'm gonna go ahead and address it just from the upstart, mainly so I don't forget, and that is because I haven't purchased it yet. It is going to be a 12 by 12 album. It's going to be ring bound. It's going to be from Hobby Lobby. I know exactly which one I want. It's a very pretty, like, flower, wildflower kind of cover, and I'm really excited about getting it. I think it's really gonna lend itself to the theme of my other planners and things this year. I've kind of had my heart set on it for a while, but I just haven't run out to purchase it. I'm kind of trying to remain on a pretty strict, tight spending schedule until all of the Christmas presents are purchased this year, because a lot of them had to get purchased earlier than normal. So it kind of threw some things off, and some were a little bit pricier than others. So I'm trying to do the right thing, and I actually don't need this album until really Jan 1. I should have it by the time we get to like 2024 setups, and obviously January setups. So you guys will see it. It's just not here, but it'll be very lovely, and I cannot wait for that. All right, otherwise, I am going to take this whole stack away so it's not just sitting here, and we will go one by one. I think the best course of action is going to be to start with kind of what's already in flux, which is my Hobonichi weeks. So in 2022, I was gifted this very adorable Hobonichi weeks, my very first Hobonichi weeks, by a friend of mine, my bestie Taylor, and I thought this was so sweet, and she was a Hobonichi Weeks gal through and through and had used it several times, so she thought that I might enjoy it. And plus, we're Disney girls, so she was in love with the fact that it was 101 Dalmatians, and it, like, the layers are just so deep. But I also ended up dressing up as Cruella for that particular Mickey's Not So Scary that we went to. So it fit with the theme all the way around, but I was really, really excited about that. Again, the traffic, I can't do anything. I am going to take my watch off though, so that it's not like on camera constantly. But why would I be using a Hobonichi 2023 weeks into 2024, you ask? Because there is a lot of unused space. One thing that I talk about quite frequently in my plan with me is that I am a very big advocate for tracking before I really start planning, per se. So there's some areas where I thought I would want to track my weight here. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with the monthlies. I tried a couple different things. I tried meal planning. I tried a workout plan at one point. I think for me, sometimes it can just be really difficult to follow such a very large plan. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat just to make sure I'm not missing anything. It can be really hard for me or anyone else, I feel like, to plan a whole month in advance. So I am hoping to use those monthly spreads again at some point. My remedy for this is that Coffee Monster Co. sells the most adorable monthly kits. So it's very easy for me to purchase some kits and just cover up all of these dates and keep it moving. And it blows my mind that a kit would be so tiny and can fit in here, because I have such a distinct visual in my brain and tangible way to see a kit that's like Avex size. So I can't even imagine how teeny tiny a little Hobonichi Weeks kit would be. But they are available for purchase. And then again, you can see where some of these note sides are completely blank. So one thing that I really, really wanted to encourage myself to do in the avenue of being resourceful and being frugal, I really wanted to see how much I could fit in a Hobonichi Weeks before buying another. And that was really difficult because I was very tempted to get the one that matches my Hobonichi Han, and I was really, really, really tempted because it's beautiful, but I'm very proud that I'm just going to stay in the 2023 and keep working on space. Obviously we're doing a lineup video today, not a setup. So we're going to be able to see how I kind of navigate around this. So obviously doing a new year, and this is what I want to do. It's kind of show. Okay. So this was the first week that I actually worked in it at the time because it started in November. So I did get a little 2022 action into it, but to start off 2023, week 1 is going to go here. Week 2 is going to go here. 3 is going to go here. 4 is going to go here. I hope that like allows you to understand like what the plan is going to be with that. And it's really just going to continue on like that. Like I'm going to use whatever spreads are available, I guess chronologically. That's my vision. And then if there's a spread like this where it's 2 weeks, that's okay. I will continue to flip until I find a free space, because I did go through a really big phase where I was using both sides. I think I'm going to have to change up and be pretty creative with that as well. I'm not necessarily going to be able to mimic this side. I'm very much looking forward to doing flip throughs of these, because I think it's going to encourage people to use their supplies, use every square inch of something, and then, you know, to make this deal even a little sweeter, I have tons of note pages here in the back. So I am not concerned in any way, shape, or form that I'm not going to have enough space for 2024. I think the only thing kind of in question is how much of 2025 is going to make it in there. And I'm really not going to know that till we get to the end of the year. So we'll see what happens, but this planner is staying on for 2024. This is going to be for health, fitness, well-being. So it will track my workouts. It's going to track my cycle. It's going to track my intimacy. That is all of what I want to be in here. I might try to do some food related things, like in a health perspective, or maybe try like, if I'm doing like no or low sugar, or if I try the no meat thing, or not no meat, that was extravagant. The no beef thing, I'm gonna have that in there. So little things like that. It's basically my whole intention with this particular planner is that I can pop it in my purse and have it with me at a doctor's office, or have it with me pretty regularly. This is also a place where if I take medicine or have sinus issues or anything like that, it all goes in here. Because again, the whole purpose of this is to be able to whip it out at a doctor's appointment and say, hey, I had headaches this day, this day, this day. I took medicine for it this day, this day, this day. I'm also going to be implementing some new supplements into 2024 and I'm going to monitor that. So this is really health, fitness, well-being. Ta-da, all in this book. So putting that little guy off to the side. I'm going to try to stack them on here without creating an avalanche. I might just, and I'm sorry about this big shadow. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's my phone. I was like, what is this? It's the phone shadow. Okay. Next, and a little weird, because after this we're going to get into like kind of some newer stuff. So we're kind of talking about what's been going on for 2023 and going into 2024. This chunky little thing. So this is a Hobonichi 5-year starting in 2021 and going to 2025. Yeah, it is a continuation. As you can see, and I've had, I did do this in a video quite recently, but I've had a couple people ask, what does it look like thickness wise? So you can very clearly tell if I like kind of start to squish it like this. So you can tell that I was pretty good that first year. I've been good this year, but you can tell that 2022, I was really not that great. And there's like a ton of blank space in here. For the 2022 year, I'm hoping that 2024 will be my most consistent year yet. I'm also hoping to go back and maybe try to figure out what was happening some of those years. I've had people ask, including my bestie, be like, are you going to go back and try to figure out what you did each and every day? I've even tried that in other avenues like backdating planners, or sometimes in like Project Life and memory keeping. And I sometimes, no matter how much I plan and write down, record, and document, and pictures I take, I still can't always figure out what happened on each and every day. And it is what it is. I'm going to make a genuine effort to try to fill in as much as I can, but I'm also understanding that this is a practice and that it's going to take some effort, and I really need to work towards getting better at it. If I plan on purchasing another one, which I do right now, hope to purchase another one to document 2026 into, I guess that would be, what would that be? 2031? Wow, that like is mind-boggling. That's scary to think about. But I do intend on keeping with my Hobonichi, getting better at it, and filling in some old stuff. I would like to do flips at the end of every single month as well to help me keep myself accountable, kind of like I did with the AVEC. It would be like a separate video, how that was, where it's kind of part planner, part memory keeping. This is all memory keeping, so it would end up on those Sunday upload side. Again, I would like to see me do that. I am cautious about committing to that 100%, but I think it would also be really cool for me to, again, use that as an encouragement to stay consistent, but to also spend that month going back through that month as well. Like, okay, is today done? Okay, was today last year and the year before done? Like, just kind of taking it as it comes. And I think that's one of the hardest things about Hobonichi 5 years, like really and truly. And people, I feel like it's one thing that there's the least amount of content on out there, and so many questions around it. Like, is it worth it? How much does it bulk up? What can you put in it? All of those things, you know. And I've said the same thing to every single person. If you are not ready to face some hard truths with yourself and others, and you are not ready for a consistent practice, you might want to think on it. Because I can tell you, your first year is wonderful. It's great. Sparkly, wonderful, unicorns, puppy dogs. You're super excited about it. You want to put all the fun things in here. You want to document everything. It's all great. I could probably be flipping through this while I'm ranting about it. And just so that you guys get some random example pages and can see this kind of stuff. I am going to plan to do a flip of it at the end of the year, no matter what stage it's really in. I'm not going to necessarily wait until I've got December full. But your first year is really fun. When you start to get into the second year and you're starting to notice patterns in yourself and others, good, bad, and ugly, it might get a little interesting. You might want to get therapy. You might cry. There's going to be, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry. It's really all the fun, it's everything in one place. And that's really why I love it so much, and why I will definitely continue my journey with it. Because it is really lovely, and I do like looking back on the good, bad, and ugly, if I'm being completely transparent. But it is a tough one. As you can see, you know, there's not a lot, I said it, you know, there's not a lot filled in 2022. I've got lots of empty spaces to fill. But again, looking very forward to getting more consistent. Hey, little touch of diamond, how are you? Let me know what you're drinking or working on. But this is really a great journal to have. If it's something that, you know, can fit in your budget or your schedule, I really would encourage you to do so. Especially if you're not a big memory keeper, but you're a big planner. This might be a good gateway type of thing, because it's a very small space to kind of hit the highlights in. Sometimes I prep the pages so that if I'm not at home, I can make it a little bit easier for myself to just take the journal and fill it in. I do really love seeing all the memories in it. And another thing you can try that was kind of the king's coronation, and a teeny tiny little king. That's adorable. One thing that you can give a go is using the monthly section in a planner, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't have any pulled down right now. I should have, but I'll circle back to that. And it's a good way to, if you're thinking about one for 2025, maybe you're not ready to start, you're just playing with the idea, this is a really good way for you to kind of get in the habit. And also if you're already doing daily pages, this is very similar to that. But I will go ahead and shut this little guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this little flip and chat about the Hobonichi 5-year that's continuing into 2024. Those are legitimately the only planners that are going to stick with me into the new year. Everything else is kind of going to be new or kind of a hybrid system moving forward. Ooh, so something like this, an old skinny classic. Yes, I repurposed this. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I am a huge fan of repurposing. You know, obviously I was on a rant about how I'm going to use my Hobonichi weeks until the wheels fall off, basically. And I'm going to continue to use this skinny classic as well. I'm just kind of changing how in its portability. Y'all, I can't abide by this. I'm drinking it, but I can't abide by it. Okay. I can't recommend it. It's okay. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just that I want cocoa, and that's what I should have made, is I should have made some cocoa and just put some Baileys in it. But I was like very strong-willed into, this is my first wine Wednesday and forever I want there to be wine. So I was a little stubborn, full at mittens. Okay, so let's talk about this situation really quick. So here's the deal. For 2023, I used this repurposed 2022 skinny happy planner. And what I did with it was I used it for a budget planner. I use budget planner very loosely. It was more like a budget tracker, or it wasn't even budget. It was straight up expense tracking. So I was using these inserts that are ancient from Happy Planner. There are much prettier ones out now that you can get. But again, I'm really trying to be resourceful with my supplies. I can honestly tell you, I only am buying 2, I might be fibbing ever so slightly. As far as planners go, I only bought 1 new planner. I did buy accessories for other things that I own that I was pulling from my stash to see what would work for planners for 2024 before I really dove into buying things. I feel like it's natural for us in planner buying season to just buy all of the things, but then we forget about all the old journals that we had that we thought were cute, that we bought mid-year, we bought in the August haze or in the midsummer, we're bored with our planner haze. So I really wanted to dig deep into my stash to find some things, and I had been tracking my expenses at the bottom of my Kokuyo for a while, and so I knew that I needed to move it out of that system and into something bigger. Another thing I wanted to try in 2023 was a cash envelope system. I think they're really nifty, and there's something quite magical about it. I feel like it helps you stay on top of things a little bit better. I did quite a bit of research about how to do like little workarounds, like, you know, how do you deal with like your spending, like credit card spending, or like, say, obviously for me, I love Coffee Monster Co. That's not a big secret, but how do you kind of implement that, like an online shop, into a cash envelope system? And I thought that was really interesting, like reading into that. And the more research I did, I really decided that a cash envelope system might serve me and my partner very well, just to keep things very even, to keep things low budget, to just be more conscious about where to put our money and how we were spending it. I don't budget his money, nor do I have any desire to. Let me just also preface that. So what I was doing was I repurposed this old planner, because really all I wanted were tabs for each month and space to put all my trackers. The next thing that I wanted to do was separate it into some type of system that would work. I don't think that a weekly system really makes the most sense, if I'm being completely honest. That actually is a 2023 calendar, I'm realizing too. So part of this was 2020. Obviously it's Happy Planner, so their years are weird, but I think this was 2022 through 2023, like probably the June to July shindig that they do. But yeah, so what I opted to do was every 7 days I got a new envelope. I felt some type of way about this idea because in theory it worked really well, because you would have, 1 through 7, 8 through 14, so on and so forth. This is where it got really tricky, was like this last little bit. And I think that if I can get back into a cash envelope system solidly, I think it would be really great, because one problem that I particularly run into is this last little chunk of the month, because that last paycheck rent is due, and then it looks like I have like nothing. So one paycheck kind of handles all the bills and all the money that I'm going to need for the month. And then the last paycheck is like a little bit of additional to help me get to the end, but also my rent. So that's usually how my month paychecks flow. I know everybody's a little bit different. But the every 7 days seem to work really well, mathematically speaking, because if I tried to do it every 8, then I'd kind of be under, which again, not the worst thing. I definitely could tweak that, but I feel like the 7-day system worked out really, really well for me. And I do think that's going to carry over into 2024. I am planning to try cash envelopes again. So I have all these nice, lovely envelopes. I have enough Happy Planner envelopes to stuff for an entire quarter. That being said, I am planning to at the end of the year, once I've done all my full flips and stuff like that, I'm going to take all the inserts out, and it'll just be tabs. And I'm going to have 4 envelopes for each month and just keep rotating them through the year. In the meantime, so this will end up being almost like the prep side of cash envelope, and this is going to be my wallet. I really would love, what are they called? It's not Midori. Is it called Midori? No, Moterm. Moterm is what I'm thinking of. The Moterm super cute covers. They do look like wallets, and I think you can get them in travel size, and you can get them in like a passport size. One, I'm not 100% sure which size I want. I'm leaning towards passport because it's super freaking cute. But as far as I'm concerned, and I did talk about this several times, like in the last couple of months, talking about my budget planner, again, I want to feel like I'm earning that system. I'm a really big advocate for trying with what I have to say, okay, I like this size or I like this system, before I go the whole hog and buy everything and I get it and I set it up and I'm like, well, this is not going to work. So I know that a cash envelope system will work in this planner from a prep standpoint. So it's staying. I don't need to carry around an entire quarter's worth of cash. A quarter is 3 months worth of cash on my person until the end of that quarter. That's not smart at all. So this is going to be the prep, the overflow, all of that good stuff. This is going to be the thing that stays with me in my purse. And so we're going to take a look at it. Again, this is lineup. I am going to sprinkle a little bit of setup in here. This is just a random Traveler's Notebook cover that I had in my stash. I don't know where it's from. Couldn't tell you if I tried. It does appear to be a little bit smaller than like a traditional, which I'm fine with. It happened to come with this very cheap lined insert, which I'm going to keep. I am going to use this to bullet journal style track expenses. I'll probably do like 1 through 7, then draw a line, and then do 8 through 14, like so on and so forth. Like I'll still kind of, I feel like I'll indicate somehow that the week is, or that 7 days is up. I'm very curious to see if I'll do that or if I'll just straight log. I'm not 100% committed one way or another. Again, this is just me using supplies. I have plenty of space to keep track of expenses and ins and outs, and try different graphs and charts, and I have lots of space to play. because this is a different system than what I've got here. And one thing that I didn't particularly care for was the expense to build pay checklist. I like how I switched it up later in the year. We'll just use October. And this isn't even completed. Good Lord, help me. But I had my list of expenses, what I paid, all that good stuff. I just had like a checklist system. Sorry, I thought there might be something on the back of that. But I just kind of had a checklist system, and then it went into, not in this particular month, it would go into the tracking pages from there. But I didn't do them in October, and I did do them in November. I just need to backdate some things and make sure everything's good. I don't care if it's sloppy. It's not something I care about being pretty. I think another portion of bill paying checklists, money management, I feel like you need to really play with it and find out what works for you, because if I'm tracking, that's great, but what is the purpose of what I'm tracking? And I did hear from several different like YouTubers and planners that it can just be really tricky. I'd like to do some more watching of people's like setups for budget planners and just budget planner check-ins and see how they're organizing it. I still want to, my goal is to stay with the 150 number that I came up with at the beginning of this year. Towards the end of 2022, I came up with it. But I feel like for me and my lifestyle, $150 a week should work. And I've made it work on less. I've made it work on more, obviously. But I feel like that should work. And that doesn't include several things. So that doesn't include gift giving. It doesn't include Binks's things. It doesn't include, I think that's it. I don't think I've included like Coffee Monster Co. Again, I'm getting a little rambly and a little off topic, so I'm going to reel it back in a bit. But I do feel like this is an adequate space for me to play in and try out some different graphs and tracking methods. Then I have all of these fun little inserts that were already in here that I really want to play with. So I want to use, my goal is to use like this pocket for receipts. I want to put some credit card. I don't need this many spaces for credit cards. But I do want to be able to put maybe like my ID and credit cards, a couple of them in here. Again, I don't need that many. That's a little extravagant. Yeah, that's too many. But yeah, it could be like my ID, my work card, my number one like card that I pull for, and so on and so forth. Like I just pick out like what I'm kind of using the most. And again, I feel really confident that I could probably remove one of these, but unfortunately, oh wait, this whole thing. Or maybe get like a smaller one so I could get like a bonus pocket. I'd really rather have that. And then there's a zipper pouch back here, and this will be where I keep that 7 days worth of cash. So for days 1 through 7, I would also like to go ahead and maybe get another insert that I can pop back here so that if it's getting close to the end of the week, like maybe it's day 6 and I'm going to be gone until the 8th. I might want to go ahead and have like an extra envelope back here. So that's something I've already thought of. But this will be more of a wallet. This will be where I plan and have the overflow. And then also I want to use that for like major savings. So things like spending money for my October trip, or maybe pre-planning for Christmas, things like that. I really would like to have an envelope dedicated to a couple bigger things that happen annually, and that way I'm a little bit more prepared for those things going into the back half of the year, because I feel like that tripped me up a bit this year, was just having several trips back to back to back and Christmas. And again, I did buy a couple larger items that I just didn't budget and plan very well for, and they have certainly bit me in the behind. But this is the plan when it comes to budget and money management. So I'm very excited to spend the next couple weeks getting these guys set up so that we can talk about that. Again, if you're curious about what the live stream schedule is going to look like for the rest of the month, it's over on the community tab so that you know what days we're going to be going through what on. And don't forget that I am taking next Wednesday off for my company Christmas dinner. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm sad I'll miss you, but it is what it is. All right. So I am going to talk about somebody new to the group. So I'm really excited about this planner, and it doesn't even fit all the way on screen, I don't think. So I'm really sorry if it goes out a little bit. This is the 2024 Ritual Planner, and this is for tarot. I am so excited about this. I really wanted a space to journal and document my tarot cards and my spiritual journey, and I also am going to be in a group next year that focuses on women, not even just women in business, just focusing like your energy appropriately to just kind of follow the moon cycles, to follow your flow and be the most productive that you can be about it. And it's also just a really group of business-minded women that are fantastic that I am looking forward to spending some quality time with in the new year. But I wanted a place where I could do my tarot, talk about my tarot, talk about moon phases, take notes from the masterminds meeting. Isn't this so pretty, Jay? Jay says it's so pretty, so I agree. I am so excited. I will say that I will pop this down below. There is an unboxing video if anybody's interested in how to go directly to this planner, how to also save 15% off of this planner. I have a affiliate code with them. And if you use the link in that video and you use that code, it helps both of us. So I would really encourage you guys to use that. If you're watching this video retroactively, I'll make sure it's down in the comments below. But if you are too impatient to wait and you want to snag this planner while the live stream's still going on, please head over to the channel and find the unboxing video of this. I think it's something along the lines of like Witchy Plans. It would have posted back in October. So just kind of scroll through and find it. But there is the URL code to get to the planner. There's an affiliate code. And then, like I said, there's a coupon code that you can use to save you some monies for that. But we will get into this. I did the whole unboxing, but we'll flip through this a little bit. Just to give you an idea, I am so excited to start filling this in. I actually did a Wheel of the Year tarot with Sagittarian Tarot. I also think that Sagittarian Tarot information is in that same video. I don't have a discount code or anything with them, but she is my tarot card reader of choice. I love her very much. She is in Scotland. She can do Zoom. She can do email, whichever you prefer. And she's fantastic. She's always been right on the nose with me. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Wheel of the Year, and I'm going to go back and stamp, because I have the Ritual Planner stamp set, and I'm going to stamp in the cards I got and just kind of do like a little blurb about how we feel like that's going to apply to me, or some things to look out for at that time of year. And then it gives you all the moon phases for the year, lots of suggestions for your spreads or questions to ask. This is one of my favorite like spreads in the whole book. Is it literally gives you like upright, reversed on every single card in the entire tarot deck. And it makes me very, 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 very happy, because if you're on the go and you don't feel like pulling it up on your phone or whatever, or you really don't want to read too much into it, you've got like you've got the buzzwords basically. So I love that. Lots of astrological goodness. I want to redo my personal birth chart. I am going to probably use the Chani app, and I also have the book of You Were Born for this, but I need to actually like do my chart so that I can finish reading the book. Like, I obviously know what my sun, rising, and moon signs are. I can't always remember what house they're in either, which is kind of annoying, but it's still something that I'm delving into. I am definitely I feel like I'm better at the kitchen witch side, and I'm definitely eclectic. I know that about myself, but I definitely tend to cook more with that perspective and with intention and all of that. And I'm still learning about the astrological tendencies that I have and that my partner has and how that flows together. So I'd really like to spend some more time on that next year. So that's kind of great. I talked about doing a year ahead with Renee. She is the one that does my tarot. But I opted to go with the Wheel of the Year because I just felt like that was a little bit truer. I'm still going to do this in my own time so I'll probably show this in the 2024 setup because I feel like we'll be close enough by that point where I can show you guys. We're not going to go through it probably till your ears bleed, but at least you guys would get to see it. And then it goes into the month, and then you kind of get, like you would in any other planner, a place to put your intentions, your goals, what you want to do, which I'm thinking is going to be really fun because I'd like to set this habit tracker up to be more in line with like spiritual things. So did I do my tarot that day? Maybe meditation or gratitude if that's what I feel like I need. I'm going to use that habit tracker to set up things based off the tarot readings I'm doing to track and just A, deepen my practice, but B, work with the energy and the flow that I'm already getting from the cards. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then you get kind of your month ahead and then you're smack into it. I think this is going to be really fun for me because I typically only do one card a day. But I love that I have the flexibility to do a 3-card pool or multiple pools. Again, this whole thing, I've gone through it already on the channel. So we're not going to be really crazy into this. We're just kind of showing it off and how it's going to be in the lineup and what my intentions are. I do get a spread for the full moon and for the new moon. And there's also note pages, which again, I'm looking forward to because the meetings that I will be attending will be happening around the full and the new moon. So I feel like I'll have plenty of space to write lots down and then take notes throughout the meeting. So I'm really excited about that all together. So this is my witchy planner going into 2024. I have not had one in the past. I've used my Kokuyo, which I'm going to show her off for just a minute because I want to explain kind of how I expand and contract sometimes with my planners and where I use what I already have to decide what I might need. So I'm just going to try to find something. I'm going to just use a spread where I've already been doing tarot and crystals. So at the top, I've always tracked weather. Then during the day, I've got my daily schedule. And then at the bottom, this is what's fun. If I were to pull out older planners, I'd also be able to show you like in my 2022 where I was budget tracking here. And then it became, once I got a budget planner, because I knew I could track something consistently and I knew it needed a bigger space, then I started using this space for something else. That became about tarot. Then I got the tarot planner. Then in this last month, I've been using it for gratitude because I feel like November is a great month for gratitude practice. I'm just going to, again, I'm going to just throw gratitude into the ritual planner because that's kind of more in line with what that goes with. But I really encourage you to use the planner that you have. And if you are a Hobonichi user or something like that, you have a lot of space to play with different structures. The Kokuyos are great because it has kind of these sections, like my tarot ended up here and my gratitude ended up down here. I've tried like mood and emotion down here before. I think I did try it briefly this year. Where'd it go? Did I try it in here? Anyways, you get the gist that use your planner to start tracking some things before you go the whole hog and buy something new. Like maybe you want to track workouts here. Maybe you want to track your budget down here. Maybe this is a really good place to track, I don't know, whatever you're watching, how many pages you're reading. Like you could easily put in read page 99 to 150 that day. It's just before you go get another planner. I know this sounds crazy, but before you go running off to get a new planner, really challenge yourself to track and be consistent with it and kind of use the planner as a treat. Like if I do this for 30 days or for 60 days, for me, I have to do it much longer to justify the reason to move it out of somewhere, because yeah, that's just how I operate. I don't know why, but I do encourage you. So if anybody needed an encouraging note to not buy another planner, there it was, but I'm so sorry if you wanted re-encouragement to buy another planner, because I'm not always the biggest advocate for that. But we have come to the end, and we have one final brand new lovely planner to welcome back to the fold, and I am so excited to show her off. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, oh, I'm so excited, Hobonichi Techo Cousin Han. It is hardcover. It is beautiful. I am so excited. Admittedly, I did order the pencil board as well. It's just not here yet. It's supposed to come between the 4th and the 6th, but I'm still waiting on that. But to my surprise, it actually came with a, where did I set it? I set it off somewhere in the house today, but I do have a pencil board that it came with that has like a little pin loop, because these don't fit in the normal covers. So I did choose to get a cover, like a clear cover, to help protect this, because I know it's going to go with me everywhere. But it's so lovely. I love this like vintage floral anatomy breakdown. That's totally my aesthetic. I actually showed Jeff, my partner, this planner, and he was like, oh, that's so you. And I kind of pled my case, not that I really needed to, but I was like, oh my gosh, I really, really want this planner. And a lot of the reason, where in the heck is all my stuff today? There it is. One thing that I really challenged myself to do was that if I could stick with daily pages for the whole back half of the year, that I could consider a Hobonichi for the following year. And I have done very well, I think. I think the biggest concern that I have is going from an A6 to an A5 when it comes to a daily page. But I feel like Helen from the Coffee Monster Co. has really made me feel comfortable with the fact that I don't have to use the whole page. Like, there's no rule that says you have to use the entire daily page. But I really, truly enjoy having a space to write a longer list, and then using the hourly side to, and I'll give an example just so that I don't sound like a complete lunatic. I'm trying to find like a good example. This is as good as any. So I usually use this side for a task list. It's not necessarily hourly or anything like that, if ever. I don't think I've ever followed that hourly, even way back in the day. And then I use this side for more like daily documenting. Jay, I completely understand. Oh my gosh, yay, we're Han twins. I'm so excited. Oh, we'll have to like share stuff back and forth. If you haven't found me over on Instagram, it's the same name. If any of you guys, I am endeavoring to post more in 2024. Right now, if you go over there, all you're going to see is my gorgeous tomatoes I grew. And you're going to see a lot of Disney bounding pictures. And I can't control that siren, so I'm really sorry. But yes, I am going to try to post more. Hopefully after this live stream, I'm actually going to post a picture of all of the lovely planners that are going to go with me into 2024. But I may I may wait until I have the new Project Life book. Probably not. That might be a little silly and overkill. Um, but I'm hoping to kind of, if you guys have watched any of Helen's videos, I'll follow the same kind of method. In years past, I didn't do the task list because I didn't feel like it was necessary. I just always used my monthly spread. I wish that they would come out with, and please get behind me if you agree, I wish that they would come out with a Hobonichi A6 that also did weeks. I know the weeks would have to be so teeny tiny. Like, how did you even do that? Like, they'd be like this big. They'd be so tiny. But I feel like it would be really great because then the whole point behind the A6 was that it was a space for me to be kind of like messy in. And then I would go into my Kokuyo and be neat about it, or neater. And another thing that I loved about having my to-do list kind of separate was, if you guys have watched my plan with me, then you'll know I'm and especially if you guys watch the plan with me that I'm filming for this week, you guys won't see it for a couple weeks obviously, but it's, you know what, I'm just going to show you and put myself on blast like that. You know, for any other content creators out there that are like, please normalize the behind the scenes. I'm going to have to fill in all of my to-do lists. So I definitely will be utilizing my last 3 days of daily pages to document like what my to-do lists were, what happened these days. Thank God I have like, somehow my brain has been able to remember all the Christmas movies I've watched, which is interesting that that's what my brain has capitalized its attention on. But yeah, I use my A6 daily pages and then kind of backdate. So I think it's going to be really interesting when it's all in one place here. I feel like there's just going to be like a lot of flipping back and forth, and we're just going to have to understand that that's a thing. So I've already shown this off on Sunday, and I, went ahead and prepared everybody. Like I said, this is a lineup, so there's no prep. I think here are the things I'm the most excited about. Let's start with all the fun, positive things. I'm really excited for more space. I'm really excited for more space because the Kokuyo Jibun Techo isn't, the one I have is the A5 Slim. So it is smaller, and it is, I would say more times than not, it's not noticeable. But then when this got here, I was like, wow. Maybe it was because I did Passion Planner in between Hobonichi and my Jibun years. Like, I took a year and tried to make Passion Planner work for me again, and that just square peg round hole. I've used Passion Planner before, and that was just not the year for it. That was just not the best idea I could have had. So I'm really excited about more space. I'm so excited that my Coffee Monster Co. kits will fit. They will be flush. They will fit. I am so at peace with that. I'm also excited that there's no like check boxes. I really have a lot of, and I'm going to pull this out just to give like some compare and contrast. Like, these checklists are not going to be here. You can already see, without me having to tell you, how much bigger that's going to feel to me. I'm so excited about that. Another thing that's kind of dorky, and let me know how you guys feel about this too. I'm really, really excited that the year starts on a Monday. And so all of our planners, I feel like most people, and I struggle with this because when I was in retail, my week started on a Sunday. So like, I would have, if I was still a Sunday week person, last year would have been my year to be like, oh my God, it's so exciting. Because I've had those years in retail, and it's just so fun, and it's silly, but it's a planner excitement thing. So I'm really excited. And that was, I did say this in my unboxing video, that really was as silly as it sounds, one of the final, like, I'm doing this, I'm really doing this, I'm gonna do Hobonichi again, was the fact that this planner legitimately starts, bam, Jan 1. Like, there's no week before, none of that is in here. And I do think there is a month before. I'm really excited to kind of cut down my tracking. I think that it's looking at it now, I'm not 100% certain. I think it's like 1 or 2 less. It's not by a big margin. And you guys we'll talk about this more in the we'll talk about trackers when we get to the January plan with me at the very end of December, because the way that I've kind of structured it out is that I'm going to do like the 2024 setup and like any quarterly planning and stuff like that. Like we're going to get just smaller and smaller as we get towards the end of the month. But yes, I am going to be doing a tracker page towards the end of the month. Another thing that I really truly love about these weekly spreads, again, no checklists, and there's no lines. There's no like, oh God, everything is full for the rest of the year now, except for this week. Okay. But there's no like lines separating really. Like you got your new line here. I don't know what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are we drawing a line at 6 o'clock? I have questions. Does anybody know that answer? This whole section down here where you can do kind of like mood, gratitude. I know I really wanted to make this, I don't even know if I'm on camera anymore. Lord have mercy. This whole section I really wanted to make use of for meal tracking, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not the best at that, because I would plan, and then Jeff and I are constantly, with the fact that we don't live in the same household and plans are constantly changing. He's also a dude, and sorry to profile there, but on more than one occasion, he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, but we're doing blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm going to put everything back in the fridge, or all the groceries I just bought are now null and void. Like, it's so many times has that happened. But I try to be better, and he tries to be better too about communicating. But let's be honest too, I am totally at fault with that. I will have a dinner plan, and then I think we can all agree that there are nights that you leave your office, or you've got soccer practice with the kids and 40 million things going on, and takeaway just sounds way easier and way more appealing than whatever leftovers you have at home. So that happens too, and could probably happen tomorrow night with the way the trajectory is going. Some concerns that I had were that I really do like having the weather in there, as weird and random as it sounds, because it's not something I really look back on. But I think one of the biggest takeaways from planning entwined with memory keeping that I've grown to appreciate is little things like that. Like, what was the weather like that day? How did that dictate what my mood was, or what I did, or how I interacted with that day? I also think that it's super handy to kind of have from a memory standpoint. Like, a million years from now, if my grandkids or his grandkids are looking at these and they're like, you know, oh, well, what was she doing that day? And I mean, not that I think that anybody's going to be going over these with a fine tooth comb. And if that was the case, I might want to burn some of these. But I just think that that's really handy to have. It's not something I feel like I utilize, but I like seeing it at a glance. I think it was really interesting because I did recently figure out that it didn't rain for like a month, because I looked back at something. So I thought that was definitely one concern I had. Another concern that I had was the fact that when I did do Hobonichi in the past, I did an AVEC. So I'm used to the year being split up, and that will not happen. And this seems flexible enough, but I'm still really concerned about bulking it up. I am going to go ahead and mention I did get the English edition. I'm very excited about this. Good Lord, this seems so, because it is gargantuan in comparison, like, to what I've been working with. Like, good Lord, that's just excessive. And I feel like I've made good use of my pages, don't get me wrong, and there have been some days that I'm like, God, I wish I had more space, but then there's other days where I really struggle. I think I've really enjoyed the comfort of seeing other people's how to fill the space ideas too. So if you do kind of get those scary moments where you're like, I've got to fill the whole page, there's so many writing prompts that you can use, or ideas. So it's been really good for me to follow fellow creators and look at how they fill their pages. I can form a whole sentence, guys. But I've really enjoyed that. I think my concerns are based off of just like kind of unnecessary fears. Like I feel like once I get the hang of it, more than anything, it's gonna prove my point that I do like the bigger space. I've always felt that A5 was my Cinderella fit. I did enjoy using the A6, and I'm not completely opposed to putting that back in the fold. I have actually been thinking about A6 when it comes to the budget planner, but again, that's a whole separate conglomerate over there. But overall, and did I mention this, that I got the English version, so I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out. But yeah, I hope you guys, I think I'm done with my ranting and my tangents. Basically, I think the positives will outweigh the negatives, or else I wouldn't have sprung for it, because it is a little bit of a pricier one considering it's hardcover, it's English, it's a whole year. It was double what I would have spent on a Kokuyo. But I'm very excited and I'm very happy with my purchase. I'm looking forward to getting it all set up for sure. And I'll be working on that over the next couple weeks to just make sure that it's set up the way that I want. I have considered flipping some videos, but I think I'm just going to leave everything the way that I have it set up currently. Again, if you guys are curious what the live stream schedule is going to be, and I don't think I've listed what the uploads were going to be because there were some still in flux at the time. But if you guys are super curious about what we're going to be going through the rest of the live streams for the month, it's over in the community tab. I am going to shamelessly plug myself here for a minute. If you guys notice over in the chat section, there is a little dollar. You guys are able to use a super chat feature when we are in live streams. If it's not a live stream and you're watching just an uploaded video, it's called something else. I think it's called, oh God, what is it called? I've talked about it before. It's a super something. But you guys, both of those features allow you to monetarily contribute. It just helps me continue doing what you guys love to see. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, even if you don't contribute. I am the first person to tell you that it's a tough holiday season for a lot of us, and money is not always effervescent this time of year for a lot of people, but I do appreciate that. If you do not feel like you can contribute to that, your presence alone is wonderful and greatly appreciated. Another way that you can contribute is by using any of the affiliate links and the coupon codes, because it saves you money, it doesn't cost you money, and it doesn't hurt at all. Everybody gets something. I get bonus points for sending you over through an affiliate link. And then you end up saving some off, and I have them for Ritual Planner and Coffee Monster Co. So if you are interested in using any of those sites, if you need any of those codes, just reach out to me and I'm happy to get them to you. Otherwise, they are in some videos, not all. I'm the first to also admit I am complete shit at editing my description and chapters. Super sorry about that. But otherwise, I will quit rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the lineup. I'm going to go through everything just really quick here at the end. So my main catch-all planner is going to be the Kokuyo. Wow, I'm already saying it wrong. The Hobonichi Han. Please don't ask me to say the really nice designer's name of that, but it is the Hobonichi Han. It's the English edition. For a witchy planner, I'm going to just call it my witchy planner. My spiritual witchy planner is the Ritual Planner. It's the 3-card spread. So you do have the option to purchase a 1-card version. I think it's a little bit cheaper, but I'm not really sure how much cheaper. And again, there is an affiliate code or affiliate URL and a coupon code for you guys over in that video back from October. We're going to be in kind of a 2-planner system when it comes to budgeting. So this is going to be my wallet. It's just a random traveler's journal, kind of rough setup for my stash. An older classic Happy Planner Skinny Classic. Some conglomerate of that I'm just recycling. to use as an envelope prep station and savings station. I'll be continuing my Hobonichi 5-year. I also have an A5 in this. I would like to maybe do an A6 after I have like a full 10 years, I think, in A5. I don't know. I don't know that I can go that small. That's pretty tiny. And then a Hobonichi Weeks for health, fitness, and well-being. Thank you so much, Jay, and everyone else for tuning in. I appreciated anybody that was commenting and everybody that attended. Again, I really appreciate you all so very much, and I look forward to seeing you guys, not next Wednesday, but the next. I believe it's the 12th, if my brain can work properly. Pretty sure it's the 12th. Of course, I'm just thumbing all the way through here. It's the 13th. Should it be the 13th? Whatever day it is. Yes, it's the 13th. Oh, and it'll be a new moon. How exciting for all of us. All right, guys, I'll see you on the new moon in 2 Wednesdays. And until then, enjoy creating your own wonderlands. Feel free to look me up on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.